I'm Jordan DiMercurio, and this is
Brad.
Brad, and we are here on the Excel Your Rate podcast. So I'm going to be introducing him per usual, then he'll introduce me, and we'll go from there. So, Brad, who is Brad? Steadman or Steadman?
Steadman.
Yeah, I always want to do Steadman for
That's
some
all right.
reason.
Everyone does it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Just knee-jerk response. So, Brad, who I know you to be, you're someone that's really intentional. The things that you do and the things that you say. I've looked not extensively into your business, but from what I saw, there's a lot of attention to detail and pursuit of excellence in it. You don't seem like someone that just kind of does, whatever. Like you're very intentional with the things that you're going to put your time toward. Something that, and we'll talk more about this, but something that really impacted me in getting to know you and helped form who I view you as. Was there was a story that you shared about prayer, and just like what it was to you, and it really formed my perspective on it in a lot of ways. So, Brad Steadman, man, I'd say someone that is pursuing the Lord radically, someone that loves his family well, as much as I know, and someone that pursues excellence in what he does, and someone that prioritizes prayer. But it not being like a, hey, I'm going to add prayer into my schedule. It's like prayer and Jesus is the root of everything.
Sure.
And everything else comes out of that. So that's
awesome.
From my little knowledge.
That's very nice of you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And this is
Jordan DiMercurio. Smart play.
Here's what I have picked up on, and I think about you, Jordan, and I think you're one of the most, first of all, I think ambitious people I've ever met in my life for not only your age, but I think just in general. It's interesting. The younger generation, I think what they're lacking is ambition, where I think that you hold on to that. I think you have a great ambition. But then I also see the heart of David on you, where it's like the innocence and the desire to seek the Lord with your whole heart, but doing it when no one's looking, and I know that's what you're doing. So it's fun to watch a younger generation with ambition, but then not only that, with the ambition to seek the Lord. And from that, you're going to have a very successful business and podcast. So there you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so blessed to have you, dude. I'm excited. It's going to be a good conversation.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. So the focus or like direction would be like prayer. I'll briefly share, a little bit of the story and then take it where you want to go. But I remember having a conversation with you. What was that? It was like August or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was sitting at the Panera over on was that Tinkin Road outside because it was too loud on the inside. So I was talking with you, and I don't remember what we first started talking about, something business-wise or something like that. And then I kind of just asked, I think.
You were telling me you were going to franchise your window business.
Yeah. So I was kind of telling you what's up.
Yeah,
and then I think I just asked, like, what did that journey look like or something like that? Like, how did you start? Then I remember, like, in my mind, I'm thinking business-wise, like, you do this tactic, this thing, this strategy, win friends, influence people, like, all the books and stuff I'm thinking of. But then you went right to, well, hey, when I was in high school, I was praying to the Lord, talking with him for 4 hours a day. And I remember, dude, like my jaw, like my actual jaw and my like heart jaw like dropped. I was like, I've never heard of anything like that, even from pastors. Like never even from a pastor have I heard something like that. So I was really shocked, and it really changed my perspective on, like, it isn't just prayer or talking with God. It's something you add into your day. Like, oh, I need to get my God time in today. It's like, that has to be, like, we can't afford otherwise, has to be the root of everything that we're doing.
Yeah.
And then out of that comes the overflow of, okay, I run a business, okay, I'm a husband, okay, I'm a friend to others, or I'm a musician, or whatever that we do.
Sure.
So that really, really rocked my perspective. And I remember even the wordage that you used really was interesting to me. You said, I think you used the word waste. Like, you were like, I wasted time. But it wasn't waste like how we think about waste. It was like,
it's different.
You used time where there was no ROI attached to it.
Right.
Or a direct return. It was like, this is a relationship with someone that I'm going to pour my heart into. And I was just like, what? So I remember after that, I have told that to many people, because I was just like, yo, like how can we not afford if God is the only one that we're trying to pursue with our lives, how can we not afford to spend just like what is that, like a sixth of our day with him? So it rocks my world in a lot of ways, and it's really shaped like what prayer is to me. Just, yeah, what is prayer to you, and where did that desire come from you to be that intentional?
Well, when I got saved, man, it was radical. I mean, I was a drug addict. I was an alcoholic. I was a sexaholic. I was suicidal. I had my first suicide attempt about a month before I got saved. I took like 30 Tylenol, 15 aspirin. And I remember that night seeing angels and demons warring for my soul.
Wow.
Yeah. And had 2 out of 14 credits my junior year.
Okay.
So I didn't go to school.
Wow.
Yeah, I had truancy, which pretty much the courts will put you in truancy when you don't go to school. It's kind of like your parents can get in trouble. I had 3 minor possessions from the police. I had a failed drug charge with the court. I mean, I was inches away from getting locked up or killing myself. So when I got saved, I was at this church camp, and this pastor prayed for me. And I hated everybody for days. I mean, I was like, this place is stupid. First, I don't even know how they got me there. It was like, that was miracle number 1, because I'm addicted to all these drugs and all these things, and they ended up getting me there.
Wow.
And this pastor is praying for me. And I remember on the 3rd night, I'm like, I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore. Like, this is so strange.
This is weird.
Yeah. I was having a demonic outburst, was pretty much what was happening.
Oh, wow.
And this pastor starts praying for me. And as he's praying for me, I started speaking in tongues. I didn't know what that meant at that time. I didn't know who Jesus was, who the Holy Spirit was. But I started speaking in tongues, and I could feel demons coming out, and I could feel God coming in. And when I stood up, I was completely set free.
Wow.
Gave my life to the Lord. So,
wow.
For me, it was like, wow, because I grew up a pastor's kid. Okay, I was a PK. Yeah, right.
Dude, keep going.
My dad fell to alcoholism, like extreme alcoholism. So he was a pastor, fell to alcoholism. Our family split up. My brother started going into gangs. I mean, it was a really crazy childhood. Sexual abuse. I mean, just craziness. So when I got saved and I found Jesus again, it was like a light switch. It was like, wow, okay, wow, he's real,
Yeah.
And I remember making that connection, and also making the connection on my suicide attempt when I saw those angels and demons warring for me, where it was like, okay, this is far beyond just me wanting to, do drugs there's a real war for my soul.
Yeah.
And so when I got saved, it was like a torch running through the forest. It was like, let's go. Yeah, I was all in. Wow. And I remember my friends telling me, because I love rap, they were like, you got to throw all your CDs out, throw all my CDs out, just got all worship. So I haven't gone back to secular music since.
Wow.
So I think, what's that now? 21 years. I haven't like casually listened to like secular music.
Sure.
Right. And it was just, man, I wanted to be so radical. I wanted to love Jesus. I wanted to give him my whole heart. And I remember getting plugged in with some people from the House of Prayer. And there was an older gentleman named Ron Zettel. He kind of discipled me, kind of kept me out of the world. He kind of like brought me under his wing and, taught me what it meant to be a disciple and how to walk with Christ. But then he also taught us how to pray. And at this House of Prayer, we were, we thoroughly believe that when we ask God for things, that he did it. And, we would spend, I think at the height of the prayer room, we were going from, I think it was 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. with live worship, live prayer.
Wow.
And so it was a pretty radical season.
Wow.
And I just remember we would get in the room and the music would take off. I mean, the music was phenomenal. I mean, these musicians were doing sometimes 4 hours a day. So like they were honed into this, in the spirit and on their instrument. Yeah. It was just this like really cool like symphony. And we would start praying, and it would feel like there was just an open heaven. I mean, anything you would ask for, it was just, we would pray for drug busts. The next day you'd see it on the news. Wow. We would pray that sex rings would be disrupted. The next day it'd be on the news. There was like this like string of like, for like a year where we were praying for things, and it would just happen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of for context where that season of prayer came from. You know, we were kind of doing it in community, doing it with people. So there is kind of like this hunger, drive, ambition of like, if you want to pray and you want to spend hours, that's great. But if you want to go the long distance and you want to do it with safety, do it with people.
Yeah.
How do you do it in community? You know, because that's what I had, and that's why I think
Wow.
it lasted as long as it did. Then obviously, you know, starting a business, having kids, it cuts your time, so you can only do so much. And God understands that. It's not like he's beating you over the head saying you better do 4 hours a day. It's like that. Any time of prayer is an overflow, right? Prayer should never be like I'm being drugged into the mud.
Yeah.
And it's that idea of like, I want to be ready for war, not get caught off guard with a war. You know, so like, in other words, when to the whoever's listening, to the business owners, when the devil comes to you to tempt you, are you going to be ready, or are you not going to see it coming?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the idea of like staying in the place of prayer, staying in the place of intimacy, is that you're living not only a life of intimacy, but you're also living in a battle. You know, there's a battle waging for your family, for you, for your business, for your destiny, for your calling. You know, you're made in the image of God, right?
Yeah.
And Satan wants to destroy you. And it's like, so it's not only just like, okay, I need to stay in the place of, because I've seen a lot of people, this is my opinion, that spend hours in prayer and then they end up not serving the Lord a few years later. So where's that connection?
Yeah.
You know, they go after the lovey-dovey, I just want to touch heaven and this, and it's like, yeah, but you forget that there's a war for you.
Yeah.
To not serve Jesus, to not do what you're doing on a podcast, to not, you know, get the name of Jesus out there, reveal prayer. There's an actual assault to get you to stop doing that.
Yeah.
So there comes a point where like you go into this overdrive of like, I'm going to do it out of the place of love and intimacy. Then it kind of like almost like mingles, where it's like, I'm going to do it out of necessity and intimacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there are seasons where you don't want to do it.
Right.
Like everybody that's listening to this can confess that. There's times where you wake up and you're like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's when necessity kicks in of like, okay, it's necessary that I do this. Right. So I wanted to give a little bit of context in that 4 hours of prayer, because I don't currently do that. I might do 45 minutes a day, half hour, an hour.
What's going on, guys? I wanted to hop on you for a quick second and let you know that if you like the podcast at all, it's something interesting to you, we would love to hear about it. And maybe you don't like the podcast, I would still love to hear about it, because ultimately this is for you guys as listeners to be benefited. So if you would take literally 30 to 40 seconds, leave a quick review under here on your thoughts on what you thought about the podcast and how many ratings you would give it, that would be awesome. And then feel free also to follow our Instagram page. We post on there very regularly, so you can learn more about what is happening and such. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey. Let's get back into the episode.
What were those things for you?
Well, drugs and alcohol for sure.
Yeah, sure.
You know, which honestly was pretty crazy. It wasn't really that hard to do because you know, the Holy Spirit, you know, the Bible says you become a new creation in Christ. So it was like, I didn't crave it.
Yeah.
Although alcohol was like my drug of choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people disagree with me on the secular music and the alcohol. And I had to give up a lot of friends. A lot of friends, right? It was just bad company corrupts good habits, man. You can't keep those relationships in your life that are gonna cause you to walk away from Jesus. I mean, you can minister to those people, but there's a way to do that with boundaries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where I don't need to be your best friend to win you to Jesus.
Yeah.
Maybe there is an instance for that. But more times than not, it doesn't work out. So I kind of had to give up my entire life and start fresh. I really didn't have anything to take with me into my new walk. Nothing was usable.
Yeah.
It's like being in.
I like that word.
Yeah, it's like being in a camp and knowing you got to move camps, but nothing is useful for you in that next move. So I had to just literally just take myself and just go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good. Makes me think of a friend of mine. He says often, what you walk into the next room with is the same thing that you left with. Like,
right.
You know, so it's, yeah, that's super interesting. I was just talking with a different friend about that yesterday, but it's like, we can become Christians or like, you know, have the word like we're a Christian, I'm a believer. And like you said, it can be this like, yes, I love it. It's so great. It's awesome. But then we cannot, because maybe it's mentorship or accountability, but not make the actual changes we need to maintain a lifestyle surrounded by the type of person that we want to like become that like grows us in that way. 100%.
Yeah. You know, John, I think it's John 11, if I'm quoting it right. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven suffers violence and the violent take it by force. And there's this spiritual violence that I think a generation is missing of like, as soon as things get hard, we brush our hands clean and say, that's not for me.
Wow. Yeah.
And seeking Jesus, there's this old rap song. He said, it was funny. It was like, if you're scared, get religion, is what he was like one of his lines.
Scared, get religion.
And it's like, actually, if you've got guts, get Jesus.
Yeah.
Because you're going to find yourself in some wars, you know?
Yeah.
And you're going to find yourself losing friends. And you know what? Maybe even losing favor in some instances, you know? And people don't think about it like that. Like you said earlier, we were talking about that exchange for finances of like prosperity gospel. There is a moment to prosper, but then there are times where when you claim the name Jesus, you actually might miss out on finances. You might miss out on some of the things that you can get from a worldly perspective. So I think it's going to take some, my opinion, my humble opinion, is it's going to take a lot of, it's going to take a lot of spiritual violence. You're going to have to know what you want from God, know what God wants from you, and you're going to have to grip tight, and you're going to have to go for it. And you're not going to get it overnight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a vending machine where you put money in and then all of a sudden you get out. Sometimes it takes years.
Yeah.
It takes years to invest and then start to see a return on what you're doing spiritually. And that's, you know, Bible says by patience possess your souls, doesn't it? So.
Wow. Yeah. As a man and as a father, what part has like prayer played in your life of just like being a man that pursues God, being a husband, being a father? Like how does prayer and how has prayer interacted with those roles?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to look at it is who's the best father? God, right?
Yeah.
Who's the best bridegroom? God, because the church is the bride, Jesus is the bridegroom. It's like anything you want to find, the example you can find is in Christ.
Wow.
So the more time you spend with him, you know, you become what you behold. Is that old saying?
I like that.
Like you look at 4 hours worth of TV, that's what you're going to probably start becoming like. Wow. You know? And so if you take time to invest and behold him, you become like him. And then these areas that you strive to become greater in, that's why they become more successful, because you're more like him, and he's the most successful at all of it. You know? Right. So you behold what you become, man. You become what you behold. You got to behold him in the areas, and sometimes it's an emphasis. Like you want to learn about God the Father, you got to seek him, seek him in the scriptures. You know, seek Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and find out how, you know, God related with Jesus and how he was a father, and you know, you can find that stuff. But that's kind of my quick answer for that. I think prayer. Okay, what is prayer? We keep saying the word prayer.
Yeah, let's define
it. And I think a lot of people think that that's the 5 grandmas in the back room screaming at the top of their lungs, you know, praying for Brad to get saved, you know. And it's like, there is truth to that. You know, that's part of prayer. The reality is, though, is that prayer is no more than spending time with God. Yeah. You know, you don't have to lock yourself in a room and scream at the top of your lungs. It could just be you with the scriptures, meditating, talking to God. I mean, there is conversation involved. You got to converse with the Lord. Yeah. But you might just be conversing around the scriptures or journaling, or, you know, you might be on your knees praying for something. To me, there are biblical parameters on how to pray. But like, you can't just fit it into the American mindset of the old grandmas in the back room contending. You know, it's like, that's part of it, but that's such a small part of it. Yeah. You know, so when we say prayer, I think it's important that it's mentioned that is just time with God, whatever that looks like, you know?
Yeah. What it's making me think about is like relationship, right? It's like, so I grew up Baptist, and with that, it was more, just at least in my context, I don't know if it's I don't want to say it's a blanket statement, all Baptist churches. But it was very like, you do the right things, you pray the right prayer, whoever had the most like eloquent prayer, they were the most spiritual. And then there was like not even a talk of the Holy Spirit really that much, things like that. So the importance of relationship, it's like anything that you relate yourself to starts to form who you are. There was something you said earlier about that really like turned on a light switch for me. But it's like, for example, like drugs or alcohol or, you know, just like sex or secular music. When you relate yourself to those, you have a relationship with those things. It forms who you are.
Right.
What was behold?
Well, you become what you behold.
You become what you behold. So it's like that. They're parallel with having a relationship with things. So it's like prayer, instead of it being a transactional thing of, oh, well, I pray or I spend time with God because I want this result or this result solely. Like if that's the sole purpose, that can become an unhealthy thing. It's just like the things that you relate to and relate with start to form who you become and who you are. So it's just being careful to look at the things that you're relating yourself to and asking, is this helping grow me into the person I want to become?
Yeah.
Which ultimately, something interesting is like, we don't even know what type of person we want to become. Only Jesus truly does.
He knows that, yeah.
You know, like he knows who like Brad is as a father. He knows who I'm going to be as a father. Like he knows that. So the only way we can actually like steward that well in our like broken like flesh, you know,
that's a good way to put it,
is literally like through him and relating to him. It's really interesting.
Here's a question. If you never received anything from prayer, would you still do it?
Yeah, I love that question.
You know, because here's the big mystery is what American mindset is. We work for something, and in exchange we get something, right? Where actually God doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't have to give us anything. He wants to give us things.
Yeah,
it's his desire, it's his overflow. He's not obligated by any means to give us anything. So at the end of the day, I've had seasons of prayer where I don't hear God's voice for months at a time or feel anything.
Sure.
You know, and again, that's that. Like, if you don't get anything out of it, are you still going to continue because you have the faith that it's, you know, faith is the evidence of things hoped for, not the things seen. So for the things that you see, you don't have to hope for them anymore because you see them.
Yeah.
You tangibly have it in front of you.
Yeah.
But when you don't have it in front of you, by faith, you press in. Right? And so faith is the invisible. It's invisible to you. You can't see what's happening. So that's where, you know, pressing in, not through your emotions, but through faith is important, right? Emotions will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
They get you in big trouble. I always say this, is that, and I think this goes for business too, is that faith and emotions are both, they're both necessary. You know, we have emotions because God gave them to us. You don't have emotions for no reason. God is an emotional God. He wept. Jesus wept.
Yeah.
Jesus had humor. You know, it's like, imagine little kids ran up to him, past all his bodyguards, the disciples, you know, and went to go try to sit on his lap and talk to Jesus. Like, how inviting was that man?
Wow.
For little kids to run up to a stranger and want to spend time with them.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't look angry. He looked excited.
Yeah.
You know, like
tender and like emotionally, you know, there.
For my nieces and nephews, if I'm on a holiday and I have a bad day and I'm looking grumpy, they're probably going to stay away. But if I'm happy and excited and ready, they're running at me. They're coming. You know, it's just like you can see the difference, even with my own kids. So I think it's important to know. I don't even know where I was going. Where was I going with that? Got lost in the sauce on that one.
Lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
God's an emotional God. Emotions are important.
Oh, yeah. You don't disregard your emotions. The book of Psalms is all David's emotions being poured out through journal. Like, your emotions are good, but when you're responding in a situation, respond first to faith. Yeah. Then respond to your emotions. Right? So if God's asking you to do something and it's like, oh, I'm really afraid to do that one. Don't listen to the fear, respond to God, but then also address the fear. Just do it after you make the proper response.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So And some of that is wisdom. Don't sign a contract you shouldn't sign. You know, be smart. But I'm not saying to go just do stupid stuff. But sometimes it's more important to respond in obedience to what God is asking you to do versus respond to your emotions. Though you have to deal with your emotions at some point or another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
And that's where prayer comes in. You can unload those emotions before God. And I was just doing a marriage counseling class last night for a couple that's getting married. And I just told them, I said, one of the greatest things I've ever learned about Christianity in 20 years of seeking God is be honest. It's be honest. You know, they were asking me, how do you do ministry as a married couple? Honesty.
Yeah.
If you're not honest with God, you know, you're going to find yourself, I can't hear his voice. I can't do this. You know, it's hard to listen. It's hard to pray.
Well,
because you're not walking in truth. You know, those who worship him will worship him in what? Spirit and truth.
Yeah.
So you can have the Holy Spirit. And you can be, so I pray in tongues and I'm all that. But if you don't got truth, you're missing an element of, you know, communion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Communion with the Spirit.
Huh.
So, you know, if you're frustrated in your current business, and you know, there were times where out of frustration, I was blaming God for my circumstances. I just didn't verbally say it.
Sure.
You know, Proverbs, I'm sorry I'm talking so much. This is
the point of the podcast. It's a conversation.
I got direction I'm going here.
Do it.
I believe it's Proverbs 3. I'm probably completely wrong on that. It says, the fool in his heart says there is no God.
Right.
Says in his heart, not with his mouth. So the fool doesn't say it with his mouth. He says it with his heart.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so there are seasons where you can accuse God with your heart and never say it with your mouth.
Yeah.
So it's important that if you feel those things, and again, that's kind of down to those emotions, and you're journaling, there's times where I'm like, God, I am super frustrated at you right now.
Yeah.
And this is why, and here's what's going on, and you don't hear me, and you're not listening, and all of a sudden that still voice comes in and goes, hold on, I'm not the one imposing this on you. You know, and it's like, then he's able to finally speak because I'm being honest. I'm opening my heart to him.
Yeah.
A broken and a contrite heart, God will not deny, right? It doesn't say someone who can pucker their lip and push through.
Yeah.
It says the person who's got a broken heart and a contrite spirit.
Oof.
So it's like you have to sometimes break your heart open, even when it's got nasty stuff in it.
Yeah, well, especially.
And I mean, when you're running a business, man, you're taking, depending on what business you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Your customer service, you're dealing with what if somebody doesn't pay that week?
Yeah.
What if somebody doesn't pay on time and now your cash flow is messed up?
Yeah.
You know, you're in the negatives even though your guys get paid. It's what do you do then when you're frustrated, you're angry, you're upset? Do you go to Jesus and take bubbles to him, or do you get honest and say, Lord, I'm pretty frustrated here. I need some help. You know?
Well,
and if you can do that, I feel like sometimes there's a way to unlock business potential by just being honest. Okay.
Wow.
Honesty is an overall thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not just you being honest with God. It's you being honest with people, your wife, your kids. There's a level of honesty that you keep. Doesn't mean you share every, you know, secret.
Yeah.
But when it's time to be honest about things, you're clear cut. In my line of business with painting, a lot of people just won't show up. So like they'll have schedules, but I've taken a down payment. I'll be there Monday the 15th.
Sure.
Monday the 15th comes. No phone call. No, they just don't show up. They're not leaving the job. They just, the customer will call them. Oh yeah, you know, I got caught up on another job. I'm sorry. I'll be there in about 3 days. Well, that's dishonesty. You knew you weren't going to be there. You were just waiting to see what the customer was going to do. You see what I mean? Yeah. And so there's a level of like, I'm going to call ahead and say, hey, you know what? I'm on a job. And we do this. I have a secretary that does this for me. I don't do this anymore. I used to, but I let her handle it because it's a tough part of the business because schedules are a living organism. Hey, listen, we're on a job. Extras got put on us. We're about 3 days behind. We'll be there such and such date. And you know what? 95% of the time, customers are really cool. Yeah. And they don't fight with you. And it's just like, again, there's that honesty thing of like, hey, we're behind. You know, I'm having a tough time on another job. We're going to get to you. We're not leaving you. Just be patient because when we get to you, we'll do the same thing. We'll get on your job. We'll stay on your job. We'll finish. So I think there's like this rut that business owners get into of being dishonest with people, and then you start getting dishonest with yourself, and then you start getting dishonest with the Lord, and it's like then you're in like this perpetual motion of like you always feel like you're in the mud. And the way out of it is just to be truthful. Like, hey, like you're 35 grand in debt. Like, let's be honest, your business practices are probably jacked up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wow.
And it's like, oh, just the next job will fix that. It's like, be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
The next job is not going to fix that. It's going to pay your bills.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So like, okay, now that I'm being honest that I'm in bad business practices, I can begin to fix the problems.
Wow.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
That employee is eating my payroll and, you know, I shouldn't be keeping him around. Okay, well, it's time to get rid of that employee.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're the problem. Being honest about that really helps you. Honestly, all around helps not only your walk with Jesus, but your business.
Yeah. Growing up, watching my dad run his business, that was something that I saw pretty often as a son. Like, I got to say, I've learned so much from my dad.
What kind of business?
Construction, like remodeling. And he, like, we would work with him at like 6 years old because we were homeschooled. So like, I can't even say as much as I'd like to about how much he has helped grow me of who I am as a man, as a someone working. Like, oh my goodness. But one thing that I did learn from as well, and now like after the fact, more talking with him and then my mom about it, was there were some like dishonesties of like, here's how much we're making, but here's how much we're actually making. Here's how much expenses are. You know, we have this home, but really we shouldn't because this debt right here, but this is being disacknowledged because there's a hope that this job will be enough, but then the customer doesn't pay. Like, so seeing that at a young age and then looking back on it now, it's like, yeah, I love the way you said that. Like, you can bottleneck yourself from what the Lord has from you.
Right.
And for you, but like even just like for you, just like generally, like whether you're a believer or not, like having that lack of honesty, I mean, you're literally, you might have an actual problem, but you're not even looking at it. So it's like you can only change things you measure. So if you're just like disacknowledging all these problems here, then you can't change them because you're like trying to ignore them. But it's like for the sake of everyone in your life, and then for sure your business, being honest. I mean, it's the only way you can change things and actually grow things.
Well, and speaking as a man, it's, you know, as you grow and you have kids and you have all these things, it's kind of embarrassing, like when you make mistakes. You know, like you're expected to be the breadwinner and, you know, make the business successful and put on the image. And especially when you're doing like high-end work, like you got to present yourself a certain way. And, you know, it's really humbling to come out right and just say, hey, you know what, it's just not what it's being personified as. And, you know, the Bible is pretty clear. It's only a few times it speaks about, well, not a few times, but where Jesus is pretty clear on freedom. That's the one thing Jesus says that'll set you free. The truth. The truth will set you free. The interesting thing was that truth was a man and he was standing in front of him. Jesus was truth in the flesh.
Right.
Right. So he was saying the truth will set you free. He was looking him in the eyes when he said that. I'm the truth. I'll set you free.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about Jesus is that when he throws a rock in the water, it doesn't just hit, it has ripple effects.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get honest with God, you're going to have to let the ripple effect of honesty hit your entire life.
Wow.
You can't hide areas. It's, you know, people struggling with things at night in the secret. You're going to have to go to your counselors and unload that stuff. You're going to have to get that out. You're going to have to let these things out. You know, that's the problem as business owners. We just bottle.
Yeah.
You know, you get hit with somebody's not happy or this, and it's like, you're not allowed to talk about it. You're just allowed to go fix it.
Yeah.
And we just constantly just are wrenching inside. And it's like, at some point you got to get honest and like, oh, okay, let's unwind here and get all this stuff out.
Wow.
And it's going to take some humility. That's me personally. That's one of my downfalls because I'm a prideful man. I've always worked for what I've had. I'm really good with my hands. I mean, I can look at it. That's the hard part. Sometimes you walk on the job and it's like, oh man, my guy's made a mistake. It's like, I know I wouldn't have made that mistake.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
100%.
I know I would not with my attention to detail, not with my skill. You know, I built, I'm very good. And so it's like, for me, it's like, I know I can do it. I say this to my guys all the time. I know I can do it, but can you do it?
Yeah.
Is the question.
Yeah.
And That's kind of like my like little like joking stab. You know, we have fun.
Joking stab.
But it's the reality is I got to humble myself sometimes and look and go, yeah, you know what? I got some busted business practices right now. Or yeah, I've been kind of twisting the truth to my clients or doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to learn how to just kind of like, the truth is really, it really is freeing.
Yeah.
When you finally come out and you're like, okay, let's just be real about this.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, wow, it's like a deep breath to help you. And it's, you know, God raises up the humble, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So
I think that's so valid in so many ways. I'm sure any entrepreneurs or business owners listening would agree, where it's like, there's no one else that cares about our businesses as much as we do. There's no one else who has the same perspective or mindset or drive as we do. So even like if you're married, it can still be hard to probably communicate all the stuff you want to and process it all out with anybody, no matter who they are, because no one really, I just don't think anyone can fully understand as much as you do.
Sure.
And that's where it can be really difficult, because yes, our knee-jerk response is, let me just keep going. You know, it's just another entrepreneurial problem. We'll solve it if we just keep going. But that can so easily transfer into our lives, because it's like, yeah, like think about it, like it's image. And that's something I'm really struggling with. I care about my image a lot. So the Lord's like, he's sanctifying.
Which as a business owner is not a bad thing.
Which is not a bad thing.
Right.
But it transfers into me allowing people to truly know me, because I'm like, well, I have to maintain this image. And that's where the lines get mixed between the business and who I am as Jordan DiMercurio.
For sure.
And the identity there.
He dropped the last name too.
Yeah. So that can be a really, really difficult thing for me. And it's like, okay, at the end of the day, I need to be honest with all people. And I need to not allow, it's like this, as a business owner, yes, like you can't, and you shouldn't tell everybody everything about you. If you're talking with one of your clients, you shouldn't maybe tell them you're $20,000 in debt or something. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be beneficial.
No, there's boundaries. Yeah.
You know,
there's boundaries.
Maybe it wouldn't be beneficial.
Well, and it's interesting you say that, right? Like, who are you going to allow to speak into your business, into your life, into your walk? And you gotta, like, my funny story about my wife. You know, when I first started my business, I'd work 100 hours a week. Easy.
Sure.
Easy.
That was on the low end.
Yeah. And I didn't mind it. You know, I was getting my business started, getting the things going. I was excited. I had energy like through the roof. And one time my phone would ring off the hook like all the way till bedtime.
Wow.
The minute I woke up to the minute I went to sleep, it was nonstop. And my wife said one day, she was like, if you go to Home Depot right now, are they open? And I think it was like 10:30 at night. I was like, no. She was like, why? I was like, because they got hours. And she said, exactly.
Oh.
So, you know, and this, we had a family and all this. So it was like, okay, it's Brad, it's time for you to set hours for your business. I don't need to answer my phone past 4 o'clock, 4:30, whatever it is. And it's interesting now, years and years later, I don't get any phone calls past 4 o'clock.
Wow.
None. Not my guys, not worker, not. Because I've developed it in such a way where, like, okay, even you're leaving the job, don't give the customer anything to talk about. Okay? So if we're not done with a room, don't tear it apart. Like, don't pull the tarps, don't pull the tape, because we're not finished. They're going to think we're finished.
Sure.
Then they start looking at details and this, or go to them and say, hey, we have details to do Monday morning. We'll be back Monday to finish.
Right.
You know, just there's ways that, okay, I've had to learn to envelop my business so people don't contact me beyond those points.
Yeah, that's really good.
And, you know, it's all about who speaks into your life.
Right.
Obviously, you better listen to your wife or your husband, because if they're speaking, they're probably seeing it from a very, like, unbiased viewpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. With someone who just truly, like, knows you and like cares about you as a person.
Yeah. Where if a customer is like, you better change your business practices, your hours, I'm like, whoa, what do you mean though?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you didn't like how long we took, even though you like the outcome, and now you want to correct my business model. It's like,
sure. Oh yeah.
You know,
oh man.
You also didn't tell me how bad it was behind that couch, and then I moved it, and that added 2 days worth of work. So
sure.
It's like little stuff like that. You know, you got to be careful you always want to take feedback from your clients, don't you?
100%.
I love feedback from clients. I think it's some of the best. It's shaped my business the best, I think, over the years. But then there's clients who have said things where I'm like, yeah, I'm not listening to you.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Sorry, not going to happen.
For sure.
You're just looking to get something for free, and you're a cheapskate, and
yeah,
no thanks.
Yeah.
I just be honest, no thank you.
No, 100%.
No thank you. It's like somebody leaving a bad Yelp review for a restaurant because they just didn't like the price of the food. It's like, you should have looked at the menu before you went, bro.
Yeah, too expensive.
Yeah, you're bad. You should have left.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's a really, really, really interesting thing. I was just talking with someone about that. It's like, there is so much advice out there. I mean, I was talking with someone about social media the other day, and they said literally just this year, there's been more content posted than in the past 10 years combined. Like just 2025. So we're at the age of information. I mean, there's information everywhere. There's advice everywhere. Everyone has a podcast. Everyone has an opinion to share. But it's like ultimately taking all the information that is given, whether it's from people that genuinely know and care for you, or someone that like wants to, but they don't know how to, or can't really hold your heart, whether it's like a client or whatnot, taking it and bringing it through the Holy Spirit, like you said, in spirit and truth. So like, here's the spirit, I'm feeling this, or I have this emotion, or this thing that maybe I'm hearing. Now let's bring that through the lens of what the Lord says, and what the Holy Spirit says through that, and then taking it. Because I mean, I've when I first started, because obviously I'm young, people would be constantly giving me advice, which I'd always ask. I'd always be like, are there any ways I can do better? Would you be willing to leave a Google review? Like honestly saying how everything was. And I'm like, sure, and I super valued that. And then there were some clients where they would say, well, I wish it was, cheaper and different things. But like, I would listen, but like I wore my heart on my sleeve a little. That's not even the right way of putting it. I allowed them to hold my heart more than I should have. So then I took their advice, but ultimately, like, I would find out later after getting to know them more that what they said came out of a lens of, well, I'm trying to get the most I can from Jordan because he's young and he doesn't know. So it's like you have to be extremely careful with who you allow to speak into your life.
For sure.
Your life in general, but especially in your business as well.
Yeah.
It's like, it's your baby. And you have to be able to make sure the knowledge that you're applying to that is coming from a place of genuinely, like a genuinely, okay, I know Jordan or I know Brad, and this is something that's unbiased. I love that you said that. Unbiased, just this is the truth, the universal truth of what the Lord is saying, or something I'm giving, but hey, I'm going to give it to Brad. I'm going to give it to Jordan. They're going to bring it to the Lord, and then they're going to make a decision. Yeah. Because that's God's a good father, and that's his character. He's not just like, hey, sometimes he is like, do this, don't do this. But sometimes he's like, here's my word. Here's the things. Now I want you to make a decision.
Make a good decision, yeah.
Because it's like, even the verse, as the Lord gives you like a little bit to steward, as he sees you steward that, he'll give you more. But stewarding means you have to make a choice.
You got to make good decisions.
It can't just be like, because man, Brad, when I first started, I was like, I'd pray for a long time, just be like, oh Lord, just give me a straight yes or no answer. Should I take this job? Or should we buy this other company out? And then like, should we do this thing? Like, and just would not make any decision on it for like 2 weeks, which there is a time to wait, but I wouldn't bring it to other, counsel. I wouldn't be in community with it. It was just something I just keep praying, ruminating about, which actually I think gave a lot more placement to like the enemy to just create more thoughts, because it was all spirit. There was no truth. And that's the cool thing about community, because we'll speak it how it is.
You're saying something interesting, because you want to make sure that you have, like I have red flags that I look out for with customers. So like,
wow.
What are your red flags that warn you to stay away from certain people, certain advice, certain clients?
Sure.
Like there are clients that I'll show up, and this is usually like, for me, I've built my red flags through the years of, if a client says, oh, I fired 3 painters already, have a nice day.
Yeah.
I'll be cordial, okay, well, I see what you got going on. Yeah. Wow. This needs a lot of work. Okay. And I just let them know, hey, the job's not for me.
Yeah. Wow. Oh dude, it's so good.
You just, because it helps you, you want to take every job.
Right.
So take every job.
Yeah.
Just make sure that the person that you're working for has the character to back up, what they're asking you to do. In other words, are they going to pay their bill? Right? Are they going to give you a hard time for no reason? And then also just, how do you set out those feelers to make sure that the expectations are met? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of job are you looking for? You know, are you looking for perfection? Are you looking for, you're just trying to like sell the house? Like what's your MO? Like with you with window cleaning,
Wow.
there's one direction you can go. It's either clean or it's not.
Yeah.
Like you've kind of got like
yeah.
there's not really a middle ground.
Yeah.
But, you know, because it's smaller jobs, you know, this is what, because I used to run a power washing company, is you don't usually get the money up front, you get the money at the end, right?
Right.
Because it's such a fast-paced job.
Yep.
So now can you set a business practice of, hey, can you pay the first 3 months in advance? We're scheduled to be there. We're under contract. Well, I don't want to pay all the money up front. Well, that's what a contract is for.
Yeah.
You're protected. I'm protected.
Yeah.
But you do that so that your cash flow is not hurt on the back end.
Right.
Right. And so like,
yeah.
As you grow and you want to expand, how can you do that in a way where you can kind of feel people out before you ever even touch the job?
Yeah.
You know, because red flags are huge. And if you have those, they save you from, because you're talking about making decisions out of wisdom and truth.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. But if God's expecting that from you, you got to have kind of markers that you go off of. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of always changing and doing this. So it's like, you got to be able to kind of fit it within a grid.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
Another red flag for me is somebody says, I'm getting 5 quotes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, you're not here. You're here for a price. You're not here for
you're here for the cheapest price. I promise you, I'm not the cheapest. I'm the best. That's what I go for.
Right.
I don't do as many jobs. Like, I almost wish I would have based my business off scraping and painting. Those guys are rich, man. They charge you $5,000 less than the next guy, but the expectations are 10 times lower.
Sure.
So when the job doesn't look good, that's what you were expecting.
Yeah.
You know, where you're charging the higher prices, people are expecting that level of perfection.
Yeah.
So you're kind of there losing money on the details.
Yeah.
And so it's just this setting up your business for success, but also having those cues that you can make decisions on to keep you away from bad customers. Because some of the worst customers I've ever had were the ones that came through other customers, right? Through like builders. So like if you work for like a builder.
Yeah.
Or a designer, you're not screening that client. They're bringing the client to you.
Right.
And those are the times where I'm like, I would never work for this psychopath.
Sure.
I'll just be honest with you.
Sure.
You know, and it's like, I could have told, you know, I yelled at a designer one time. I'm like, I could have told you not to work for that person.
Yeah.
Like, it's clear as day. It's just, you were just ambitious for the work and the money. So like, in other words, like money's not the most important thing.
That's what I'm hearing.
Because if you're working, growth is it's different than I think people realize. It's not just becoming busier. It's being intentional with your time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really hard to as a business owner not have your hands on everything. Isn't it? Like, like when I step away and I trust my guys to do something, sometimes it doesn't turn out. I mean, the work turns out, but like, is the budget still there? Oh, maybe that's what I was going to say. How many, I'm sure a lot of the people that are listening are probably gonna be tradesmen, people that own a business in that realm of like, you're working within a estimated price.
Sure.
I give a customer a price. I have to perform the work, but I have to perform the work in a way where the business makes a profit.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
How many, this would be a good litmus test. How many people, and maybe you can like make like a Q&A thing.
Yeah. Like a poll or something.
Yeah. Actually keep a track of what they're making per hour.
Oof. Yeah. That's a great question.
It's an ugly truth when you actually do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm working on this super high-end project right now.
Oof.
And super nice stuff, man. I mean, we're strutting our feathers on this one. It's going to look good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're going to win some work and some designers through it.
Sure.
We're going over my hours and I'm thinking, I'm not happy.
Sure.
But I did on purpose. I slowed the guys down. I'm like, I really want to make this one nice. Because I have a designer I want to impress.
Sure.
And, you know, I could have sped through it and probably made what we need to make per hour. So like, how many people in the listeners know how much per hour you actually need to make to be successful? I know that number for my company. I have to make this much per hour. When I'm making that much, I'm not only paying my bills, the guys, I have money to buy new trucks, fix things, you know, buy tools.
Yeah.
I know my bare minimum I need to make where I'm like, okay, we're not just surviving, you know, everything's getting paid, but we're not really like on the upward climb. And then I know if I go below that point, it ain't good.
Yeah.
It ain't good.
Wow.
So on every job, I keep my receipts, my costs, and then I keep my hours, and I can see which ones are profitable and which ones aren't.
Oh, that's so good. And that's probably so rare. Like
I bet.
I've only met one other, and he's not even in the trades. I've only met one other guy who runs a marketing business that he gave me that advice like a year ago. And it was like, whoa. And I don't know anyone else that does that.
Yeah, it's hard because a lot of guys are working the job by themselves. But it's like, but still keep your hours, because how many hours do you have vested?
Yeah.
I had a painter. I've started up helped a few guys like start their painting company. And I'm actually thinking about making a package to sell.
Dude.
Like I'll give you, I'll help you with 5 estimates.
Yeah.
You get 10 phone calls.
Yeah.
I'll give you the tool list you need to buy top to bottom. I'll show you how to use QuickBooks. Like I'll help you scale your business really fast.
I love that.
For like X amount, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll work. I don't know.
I'm sure it would.
But
I know 3 people who want to start painting businesses and they don't know where to start. And they're afraid of
send them my way.
Okay.
But I've already pilot ran with a few painters, and it's a couple of guys I've sent out that I've trained.
Yeah.
That are like, I want to start my business. I'm like, go ahead. I'm not that guy. I'm not jealous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
there's enough business out there.
Just go for it and see what happens. And I think I had one guy who would call. He's like, I'm not making any money. And I'm like, well, what did you charge? I charge this. Well, how many hours you got? I got this. How many? I was like, dude, you're making close to $100 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, what are you upset about? He's like, well, I'm not seeing it fast enough. I'm like, well, your problem is that you're not finishing the job as quick as you'd like to see that check. But the reality is you're making good money.
Sure.
So I've had the opposite effect too, where I have guys who are like, I'm just not doing good enough. And then I'm like, well, I measure your hours. I'm like, you're doing fantastic. What are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can see I know what I average per hour when I'm on the job site. It's usually double what my guys can do.
For sure. Yeah.
When I'm by myself, it's just because of the decision making over the past years, where I just know how to arrange a project to make it profitable.
Sure.
Where my guys are very good at that, but it's a different kind of mindset.
Yeah.
I'm very aggressive. Like when I show up on the job site, I'm like a leech. I take over.
Oh yeah. You just go for it. There's no thinking, should I do? You're the boss. You just do it.
Yeah. And I can see the end of the project from the start.
Yeah.
I have a very good visual insight to it. But I think keeping the hours is important to know, because there are times where I'm losing my tail, and I've lost my tail a couple of times with this builder, and I don't think it's us. I think it's them. I'm charging enough money. We're moving fast enough. We're not changing our practices. So that would mean time to cut you out.
Yeah.
And not because I don't like working for you, but because what's the point?
Yeah.
I'd rather have one less guy and bring home more money.
For sure.
So yeah, I think that's what I was going to mention in the last one, though, is keep your hours, keep track of your budgets, know what you're spending on jobs, and know if you're being profitable or not. Maybe you as a person, you're not. Maybe you're only making $35 an hour.
Yeah.
And your cost is $35 an hour. So
yeah, that's so good. If there's anything you guys can take from the business side, wow, that's huge. That's really good.
That's candy. That and the A list, B list.
Yeah.
It's interesting. If you apply those 2 things, your business will actually slow down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'll be like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like I actually have time on my hands to go on vacation, or I have time on my hands I'm not working 100 hours this week. And then you look at your account, and your account will be doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, oh, that's weird.
It's a slow burn because you turn the burners down. But I always think about, and I've expressed this to a few tradesmen, and this goes for window cleaning too, probably, is that you have your low level, right? Where it's like, I'm the cheapest guy, but don't expect much.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the mid-level guys who want to do high-end work, but aren't charging high-end prices.
Sure.
And then you have the high-end where you're charging high-end prices, you're doing high-end work.
Yeah.
The middle guy always loses.
Yeah. Well,
100% of the time, the middle guy always loses, because that client is expecting high-end work, but you're not charging high-end prices.
Yeah.
So you end up performing the same work as the high-end guy, but you're not charging the time for the hours.
So it's confusing.
It's billable hours. Yeah. So I'm giving you an estimate because I expect to put a certain amount of hours into your project.
Sure.
If I have to put in 20 more hours than projected, who's paying for that?
Right.
I am.
Yeah.
You go back to a client, rarely are they going to want to give you more money.
Yeah.
No, I hired you for this price. You need to finish it.
Yeah.
So the middle guy always gets crushed. So you need to make a decision. Are you either going to live in the low end spectrum of like, I'll be the cheaper guy with lower expectations, or am I going to go straight to the high end work? You got to find the top or the bottom. Don't hang out in the middle because you'll lose.
It's lukewarm.
You'll lose. Yeah.
It
is. You'll lose big time. You'll lose big time. Like
Wow.
you've chose the high end.
Yeah.
And it shows. Like I'm looking at your work right now and it looks really good. So I would refer you, right? So it's like that high end bleeds into the high end. So, I think it's like for me, this is the way I look at business. If I could sum it up into 3 points, it's A list, B list. It's managing, keeping track of budgets. Am I actually being profitable? And then it's either I'm going to choose to be in the low end of the market or I'm going to choose to be in the high end.
Yeah.
It's and that has kind of helped me funnel and channel and keep myself away from useless work.
Right. It's really good. Well, wow. So the last thing we'll hit then, challenges. So I got like 30 things on my list here. I'll say like a more faith, personal, personal, like just growth one. Then I'll do like a business thing. For me, I think I've had this passion that's on my heart for a long time, and I think this confirms it more. But getting a group of guys together that are pursuing excellence in what they're doing and seeking to run a business that's great, with no, for lack of better terms, crap of, oh, I'm doing great, but we're not actually. Right. Just a group of a bunch of just Christ-centered business guys that just want to grow and get better and improve. I'm gonna take action on that, and I'm gonna get that going this week. So that's my thing for like personal. Then business, looking at all of our clients right now, like every client, and I'm gonna go through and see which ones are A, which ones are B. Just Google Sheets. I'm gonna throw that in and just start investing into these and having these more in the back burner. Because like there's so many negative. It's number one, negative financially, but negative for mindset of myself and the people that are working for me. Like there's just so many negatives attached to that. Or for a long-term business, it's not a good idea. Maybe for short, I just need cash right now. I'm not doing this for the rest of my life. Okay.
Right.
But yeah, those are the things I'm going to challenge myself in this week.
I'm going to challenge myself to practice what I preach, bro. I said a lot of good things on here. I better go make sure my business is running the way I says it is, Yeah. I think I'll probably, it's a good refresher for me because it's like stuff you say out loud and it's like, oh yeah, that's how I do it.
Yeah.
And I've got a few clients myself personally that I know I need to drop, even from this morning doing budgets, where it's like, yeah, I'm going to taper back a little bit with that client. And, focus more on my residential stuff. And so, yeah, I have some pivoting to do personally in my business as well. So A list, B list.
Yeah.
I'll be doing the same.
Let's go.
Yep.
Well, dude, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir.
Blessed so much by this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You can find his painting company. What's the name of your website?
Shoreline Painting, LLC.com.
Boom. So check them out. What areas do you serve?
Grosse Pointe, Birmingham, West Bloomfield.
Perfect.
Yep.
So if you need painting, he's your guy. So great. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day and go out there, work hard, pursue excellence in all you do. Bye.